Like Greenwich Village and Haight-Ashbury, Toronto's Yorkville becomes a mecca for music and hippies. Earnest folkies and psychedelic rockers are all drawn to the village atmosphere, the abundance of recreational substances, and the huge concentration of clubs and coffee houses.
There was a really great scene in Yorkville around 1967, and you could walk along Yorkville Avenue and go into various coffee houses and hear all these Toronto bands. Part of that whole scene was John Kay and the Sparrow before they came Steppenwolf, and the Paupers were in there with Skip before Lighthouse was ever created.
You know, when I took over the management of the Paupers, the lead singer of that band, Bill Marion, quit within about 10 days.
In the interim, Bernie, having heard my songs, just laid down the law and said, Adam Mitchell's getting this gig, and that's it.
There was a band that was coming across on the West Coast on this huge wave of success and reputation.
He got us this gig opening up for the Airplane.
Man, we opened with this song called Magic People and Think I Care, and like these drums were just thunderous, right? And I mean, people just sat there like in total shock.
Tell your story that'll make you laugh, make you cry and make you stare. Yeah, it's a story about my baby and the favorite line. She said, you think I care? She don't care. Well, and then one night after, let's dress up.
The people like from the Village Voice and so on who had come to write about the Airplane, we kind of stole all the headlines. Albert Grossman wanted to manage us after that.
Within about 2 weeks of that gig, I'd become partners with Albert Grossman, who then managed Bob Dylan.
So he managed the Paupers, took them to New York. They did great, signed a deal. Now he knew tons more than anyone else in this country about how to do it. So he was way ahead of the game when he started managing the market.
I started hearing about groups in Toronto like the Mina Birds, the Ugly Ducklings, Kensington Market, who had a singer named Keith Mackay, very, very good band. They cut some tremendous records.
Keith played some songs that he had written, which I thought were really quite spectacular at the time.
And then Luke's band was breaking up, so we thought, oh, another singer, that would be great. And we, you know, to me, Luke was another one of the greats from Toronto.
Keith and I had a great blend. Like sometimes the voices are that much different. Harmonically, they blend.
Say please to give you to be with, to see with here instead. La 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 la. Western waters kissing teardrops and blessing butterflies.
While Toronto's Yorkville is making noise as a cultural hotspot, in Montreal, a not-so-quiet revolution is rocking in both official languages. Concert promoter and artist manager Donald K. Donald becomes the scene's biggest mover and shaker for both French and English-speaking singer-songwriters and rock bands.
I went up to Toronto and I really was impressed by a vibrant music scene, and I just said to myself, boy, the same thing can happen down in Quebec. There was essentially a Two Solitudes, you know, and it was brought about not anything heavily political. It was brought about by linguistic communications. I mean, the managers and the artists of the Quebec Francophone bands did not know how to communicate with the agents in Toronto and developing those circuits. Also, they wanted to develop their talent in French, which was French is a beautiful language for music.
We grew up in Montreal during that era, and we had the benefit of two things: great music stores in Montreal at the time, lots of great independent music stores. But the main thing is we had Chaume FM, and they played everything and anything, and you know, not just the huge acts that were happening at the time, but also you know, a lot of the French Canadian acts like Robert Charlebois.
We were very instrumental in putting Robert Charlebois on his first Canadian tour with a show called Festival Express that traveled right across the country. It was a train, a potlatch-type train that started and played shows in Montreal, then Toronto, then Winnipeg, Calgary, and Vancouver. And Robert will always remember that as one of the highlights of his career because he had the opportunity to rub shoulders with people like Janis Joplin and all those big musicians of that era.
Un Hells Angels à pied. Je roule la bille sur du papier. Je mange des hot dogs, mais je bois du thé. Je suis un Satan's Choice raté. Quand je passe à Maine, je mange des goûters. Je suis un bon de bonne famille. Les vrais robineux, les vrais noms, c'est ça. M'achète des beaux vieux habineux.
Now, Mash McCann was a very original and unique attraction, and my partner Terry Flood and I signed them to management, and we went off to New York.
When we went to New York to record, it was our first recording, but they didn't want us to record all our original material, and one of the tunes they did not want to record was As the Years Go By. It was too square.
I think As the Years Go By is one of the weirdest hit songs ever to actually be on the airwaves. It is completely nutty.
And as the years go by, true love will never die. At 17, this girl says, do you love me? And it really means, will you respect me? The teenage boy answers, I love you. And it really means, can I make love to you? And as the years go by, true love will never die.
It was, of course, #1 across Canada, and it became #1 across Japan.
We went from playing in a church basement in Ile-Perrot on a Wednesday night to playing in Tokyo on a Saturday. When we got to Tokyo, we found out that we were almost like the Beatles there, and we did 3 shows, and they were all attended by at least 60,000-70,000 people. Baseball stadiums. I'd never seen anything like it.